Hi everyone, sorry it's been a while since I uploaded a video. Things have been a bit busy. Today I want to show you how to make these cracker boxes. So they're quite nice because obviously they stand up like that, and I don't know if you can see inside. They've actually got folded bits here. So with a normal cracker you would normally cut this section here to make the narrow bit. But for this I've redesigned them and I've done them so that you can fold them, which makes them a lot more sturdy. So yeah, but they're quite simple to make, quite quick to make, so we're going to make one today. So what you need is a sheet of double-sided card that is 10.5 inches by 10 inches. And so what you want to do is take your scoreboard, and you want to score, turn around, you want to score at, I'm hoping you can see this, you want to score at 2.5, at 5, at 7.5, and at 10. When you've done that, just rotate your paper round clockwise one turn, and then you want to score at 2 inches, at 5, at 6.5, and at 8. Okay, so this is going to be the bottom of your box, and this is going to be the top. So you should, I don't know if you can see those score lines, that's what you should end up with. So now what you want to do is you want to take a pencil and a ruler, and with it, so that you want to have your tab on the right hand side, so this is your top, and that should measure 2 inches, okay, and then you should have this section here that are both 1.5 inches, 1.5 inches, that's 3 inches, and that's 2 inches, I believe. So take your ruler, place it along this line here. So this line here is the 3.5 inch line. If you're coming from the top, it's the 3.5 inch line. Okay, so from there, you want to place your ruler on, and you want to mark at 1 inch and 1.5 inch, and you want to do the same all the way along. So from this line here, I want to measure an inch in, and half an inch after that. So again, from this line I want to measure in an inch, and then another half inch. From this line I want to measure in an inch, and then half an inch, like that. Okay, and then what you want to do is take a placemat or a cork board or something with a bit of grip give. Sorry, this one's a bit messy, it's just the biggest one I've got that I can lay my hands on. And you want to start scoring from the top corner here to that first line, and then out again. From the top corner here to there, and then out again. So I tend to do all my diagonals and then all my other diagonals. Just watch out when you get to this side, make sure you go from here to here and not to here. Okay, you must do it inside that box. So let's start doing these. So we're going to score from there to there, and I'm going to go from there to there. As I said, I always do the same diagonals first, just 'cause it's easier. Just keep turning my ruler around. Like that. From there to there, and then from that one to that one, all the way along, like that. And then I'm going to do the other ones. So we're going to score from this line to this corner. I usually start my scoring tool on one of the points, and then marry up my ruler. I just find it makes it a bit easier, especially if you're using pattern paper and you can't really see where your corners are. It's a lot better to do it this way. From there to there, and from this bottom corner to there. So you should end up with that. Okay, so now I'm hoping you can see the score lines. Don't press too hard. I might have pressed too hard. Don't press too hard on your score lines. You don't want to tear through it. But obviously, you know, you want to press enough that you're going to be able to fold them. Right, so next you want to take a pair of scissors or a Stanley knife, whatever you want to do, whatever you find best. I find it best to do it with a Stanley knife. And you're going to cut up these lines here at the bottom. Okay, but you just want to notch them. So you just want to notch them just slightly to the left and right of the score line. I'm hoping you can see all of this. Move it up a little bit so I know you definitely can see it. So you can cut them. You can cut this bit. I'm just not very good at cutting straight. There we go. That was quite a large notch. You probably don't need that large a notch. In fact, let me do it with scissors. You don't need that large notch. It doesn't matter because it's the bottom tab, so it's not, you know, it's not the end of the world. It's just because then when you're making your base, it's a lot easier to fold everything up if you haven't got to worry about bits sticking out the side. Right, so when you get to this bit here, what you want to do is just cut in, because you're going to cut this section off, so you want to just do a diagonal line there, because this is going to be a tab. So now what you're going to do is you're going to tab the rest of this. So you're going to cut up there like that, diagonally, and then you're going to do a really, actually no, just do a normal tab and we'll cut that in a minute. So you're going to tab there, tab there, and there, basically in between each score line you're tabbing. You should end up with that. So now what you want to do is fold your longest lines, your top to bottom lines, along there and give them a burnish, and then take your scissors, and this line here, you see where you've got your little triangles, you want to cut up that central line until you reach that first mark, so like that, okay? And obviously that little bit on the end, you can just cut that yourself. There we go, like that. Okay, so next we do the next one. So we fold this in half. Fold that along the line. And then we cut up that line till we get to the point, the little mark. Do the same with the next one. Good burnish. And then we cut up that line till we reach the end, and then this bit we just cut up until we reach the mark, like that. So you should end up with this. Now what you want to do is fold all your other score lines. So your tabs want to fold in. We will be folding these back on themselves in a minute, but just for now there's no harm in folding them the same way as everything else. You want to fold, so this is the outside of my box. So these tabs are going inwards. Then these tabs all want to fold in. All of these, this line, and this line all need to be mounting folds. Just going to turn that over. Fold that. Fold that there. And then fold these like that. Okay? This fold here needs to go the other way. Now just be very careful with this, because some cards will tear. You've only got ½ an inch holding it all together, and especially if you overshoot this mark here, which I have there, you've got even less than ½ an inch. So you just need to be a bit careful there. Right, now the best thing to do now is to start folding these diagonal lines. Now this is where you need to really be careful. So the first two are easy, because you can just fold them in like that. And the same with these. These are easy. The outside ones are easy. Just fold them along their lines. But what you want to do is you kind of want to think, you want to stick your finger in that hole there where you've got the cut, and you want to very gently coax it along that line, like that. Oh, 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 oh. See? Gently coax it. The same with the bottom. And then lay it down flat and crease it. You end up with that. Same with this one. This is where it's good if you've scored properly here, you shouldn't fight too much. If you haven't scored enough, you'll soon find out. And if you've scored too much, you will tear it. So there we go, like that. That was not quite right, but it's close enough. And then we want to do this one here. So this is the fiddliest part, I would say. Once you've got these done, you're off and away. This is quite soft card that I'm using here. If you use a slightly thicker card, it's a lot easier to do. There we go, I'm almost there with that one. There we go. Oh. So you end up with that. So now what you want to do is get some red tape, and you want to put red tape along. Oh, actually no you don't. Before you do your red tape, this bit here where your tabs are, fold along the diagonal line, and then fold the tab back on itself. And anything that sticks out from that crease line you want to cut off, because otherwise you're going to have to fold that later, and it's going to be really bulky and really annoying. So fold it over, fold the tab back, and cut that little bit off. Apologies if the light's not great. It is actually sunny outside, but for some reason, well, the sun's not shining this direction. It's not shining this side of the house at the moment, so that's why I've had to switch both of my desk lamps on, which means it's not the best light, but anyway, there we go. Right, so I don't claim to be a professional, so there you are. Right, so now what you want to do is you want to put tape all along these 4 tabs. And I would definitely use red tape because it's a lot more sticky and strong. And you want a nice strong tape. You don't want your crackers coming apart at the table. That would not be a good idea. So I'm going to put some red tape on there. And then this tab here, like that. And then what you want to do, turn it over and just fold that one side in. Peel the backing off the crackers, like that. And then fold this side over and stick it down. So you now have your cracker base. Okay? So now what you want to do is you want to deal with the tabs at the bottom. You want to put tape on 3 of the tabs along this bottom inside edge. 1, 2, 3. So I'll do that now. And the last one. 3, like that. Okay. Now this flap doesn't have any tape on it, so that flap needs to go down first, and then the one that's opposite it, take the backing off. I'm hoping you can see this, but I need to try and get it straight. You want to stick it down so it is square, nice, and otherwise you're going to have a wonky cracker. Once you've stuck it, put it down, get your ruler, and just give it a good press down. And then you just literally peel off the other 2 and stick them down on top of each other. So that one goes there. So this is when you find out if you've stuck it straight or not. Because if you haven't, then you'll have bits of card hanging up the side. And that one goes there like that. So that's that. And then you just need to get some ribbon and the ribbon goes around the goes around the outside edge. Just pop your bits out. There we go. Like that. Okay, so let me just quickly get some ribbon because I forgot to get ribbon before I started the video. Right, so nice selection of ribbons here, and I think we'll go for a quite like the Noel one. So you need about 18 inches of ribbon to make sure you're going to have enough. This box, incidentally, that I made, is a ribbon box. There's a video tutorial for this on my YouTube channel if you have a look. It's quite handy for keeping your ribbons in. Right, so here we go. So you get your ribbon, you put it around the outside. Now obviously at this point, before you go and put your base together, once you've stuck your sides, you can then decorate the outside. But obviously I'm just showing you the basic how to do this rather than decorating it as well. So I'll leave that up to you. And if you do it out of double-sided paper, pattern paper, then you won't need to do that at all. There we go, just cut these off. Right, so that's your cracker, basically. Obviously, you know, if you're doing it with a plain card like that, you can decorate it. I decorated these with panels. So my gold panel, because these are all 2.5, my gold panels were 2.25 by 2 3/4, and then my pattern panels were 2 inches by 2.5 inches. So yeah, so that's what you can do for your crackers. And as I said, they're very easy. There's all sorts you can do. Along the top you can put pom-pom trim, or if you want to, you can, as you can see I've made a few, you could use scallop scissors. Obviously you do that when it's flat before you stick the base together. Or if you want to, you can cut little like turrets into the top to make it like a turret. So yeah, there's lots you can do. As you can see, I've been busy. This isn't even all the ones I've made. There are others that I've made. Yeah. There's another one. So yeah, it's a whole load that you can do. They're very good. They take up not much space on the Christmas table, and you can reuse them. So in this world of environmentally friendly, there's no plastic on them. You know how you normally have like plastic trims and whatever. Obviously you can reuse them every year if you want to. Store them away with your Christmas bits, and just reuse them. The ribbon comes off, yeah. So they're environmentally friendly in that respect, and they're just great to make. So hopefully you'll have a go.